Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. What's up today? Are you enjoying your day? I'm enjoying mine so far. Don't know why. Must be a other side of the moon energy pump, or maybe it's that wheatgrass juice powder, or maybe it's just Keto Under 20 and it's working. Who knows? What are you willing to give up to get what it is that you want to get? Are your non-negotiables, even on the Keto Under 20 food plan, still stalling you, getting in your way? I'll give up anything but, after making the disclaimer, I have had it with myself. I really want to clean this up. And yet, you're still holding on to the things that you might be having to eat or drink that stall what you want to have with your body shape and the scale. What are you willing to give up? Do you have non-negotiables that have nothing to do with keto that you've heard don't help with the Keto Under 20 food plan? Do you? Are you still having all those chemically edible foods, as the industry calls them, that have nothing to do with real food or nutrition? Are you sticking with looking for upgrades to your food plan on a daily basis? Things that, like, being really willing to hear. When I watch Dr. Berg's videos, he'll say something like, if you zoned out up until now, come back in. You need to listen to this. And I love how he does that, because I probably do it too. I'll listen to people, and that's why I love my YouTube on my TV in my living room. I put away the phone, I put away the word searches, I put away the shopping lists, I put away everything and watch the screen. Especially with Dr. Berg, because he always has that whiteboard filled with all kinds of information that if you're not paying attention to it, you might miss. So I used to have this French teacher. I went to 1 year of prep school, and I was such a hellraiser, and I missed boys so much. I went back to the public school in the 11th grade. But he used to say, faites attention! Pay attention. And he just had it with all of us. He wasn't interested in the hormonal teenage giggly girls that he had to teach. You could tell he was nearing the end of his career. Faites attention! So pay attention. Whether you're reading a label, whether you're listening to somebody, whether you're hearing what you need to hear, and that I won't say you should hear, but don't listen with half of your ears and eyes and brain someplace else. If you're focusing on a podcast, or if you're reading a book, which I have no reading adaptation left whatsoever. If I have a book on tape, I probably have to listen to it 3 times. If I have a book in hand, like I was ordering, I probably haven't ordered a book for a few months now, so that's healthy for me, because I was ordering all of these books that, as you know, I never even crack, and I have such good intentions. So figure out what your learning style is. Is it listening to somebody over and over again? Like sometimes, say I've got an issue. So say it's insulin resistance. So I'll go to Dr. Perlmutter, I'll go to Dr. Mercola, I'll go to Dr. Berg, I'll go over to Dr. Davis, and I'll listen to the same topic with different experts to get my brain having stuff to think about. Other times, it's listening to that one expert with over and over and over again podcasts. Now, this expert could talk about fat, insulin resistance, carbs under 20. Should you cheat on your Keto Under 20 food plan? Artificial sweeteners. So it's I want that one doctor's opinions on a multitude of issues. See what I'm saying? So sometimes it's the topic, and I seek lots of different opinions to help me with my choices that I make when I grocery shop for food to put in my body, okay? And then other times, it's like this particular doctor I am honed in on. Say I watched something of him on some, I've got a Icelandic symposium, health symposium that I've been listening to. So I can listen to a doctor there, like Dr. Tim Noakes, and then I'll go to another symposium, the Ancient Health Symposium, and there's Dr. Noakes again, a couple of years earlier, a couple of years later. And so sometimes I do that. And that's how I forage and gather the info that's for my brain and what works for me. And then when I have made some of these little changes in my food plans, you get to hear how I've benefited. I am getting definition in my torso. Now, say, what? You're 66 and a half years old. You can forget my arms. They're a mess. You can forget my inner thighs, my double knees, my chin. You can forget all those areas, but I am getting this definition in my torso, and I'm amazed. And it's like 66 and a half. This is what the leaning out looks like. So I've been leaning into people and ending up leaning out with my fat intake and my easing out the carbs. So somebody said to me, they were concerned about the fat that they were eating, and I said, it's probably more prudent to be concerned about the carbs you're not having. So ease those carbs out. That's what works in a keto under 20. It's not about the fat. The fat's not going to spike your insulin. The carbs will spike your insulin. And I'm talking about the yucky carbs, not the leafy greens, even though you do have to keep those under 20, but you can fit in tons of leaves of leafy green, romaine and kale and spinach and all those good nutritionally dense leafy greens and stay way under 20. So you can add some things like, some people like to add things like cucumbers or maybe tomatoes or maybe celery, things like that to their salads, so it's not just lettuce with some oil. And keep your choices, stay away from the canola, stay away from the ingredients on the back of a salad dressing bottle that look like this. Do you know what your salad dressing is filled with? If you have some of those old salad dressings in your fridge, look up some of those. You might be surprised to find that they're sugar. They're sugar disguised in another name that you're putting on your salad. So you're still keeping that brain in that sugar-seeking mode that we can call cravings, or we can call the opioid effect, whatever it is. But it keeps it alive. It keeps that pilot light on sugar that most of us on Keto Under 20, when we want to get real, want to give up. Now, it's interesting. I will be recording a podcast on carbs under 20 that I've got on a website, and that will be another podcast that I'm going to record soon, if not today. And when it gets down to snacks, the thing I love about it is it's a rolled piece of meat and cheese. It's a certain amount of nuts, things like that. It is not anything that mimics sweet. But it's funny, Dr. Bird was, he had a thing on, I'll talk about that another time. But anyway, the snacks had nothing to do with emulating a fruit or any other sugary, artificial sugary sort of item. And yes, and more yes. I don't need to find anything sugary to satisfy me anymore. I am interested in rich, dense nutrition, and that comes in the form of fat. It comes in the form of high-quality meats and fish. It comes in the form of leafy greens that are organic and no pesticides, things like that. I look forward to having an organic raspberry again one day. Right now I'm not. Why? Because that thing of blueberries that I bought was so bitter and mealy for $4. I just got hangry. No, I didn't get hangry. But, it's like, what a waste of $4. It was gross. I threw it out. Yuck. So I'm looking forward to some sweet, organically grown berries a couple of months from now. Right now we're in the 40s every day. It's spring on Cape Cod, but it's not warm. And so be careful what it is that you're looking for to satisfy a craving. If you're doing keto under 20 and not having artificial sweeteners in place of the sugar that you used to eat, and you're not having artificially sweetened sodas and little crutches like that, then you should be losing a sweet tooth. And I say should because that's the point of keto under 20, is to not be carrying around this burden of a sweet craving that never quite goes away. You can lose it. I'm telling you, it works. I'm not saying if it works for me, it will work for you. I'm just saying that the point of having no sugar is to get rid of that sugar craving. Because when you have an artificial sweetener or the real deal sugar, you are going to be keeping that alive in your brain, the lighting up of your brain, the craving in your brain, and it will be harder and harder. You can't have, like vaping, Do you really think that vaping cures the need for nicotine? Hell no. It's got nicotine-like substances in it. So same thing when you're having an artificial diet soda, artificially sweetened. It's the same deal. Artificial sweeteners do the same thing up here to your brain as the real deal. It's just if it looks like you're having less carbs, I guess maybe you're happy. Treat it as a crutch, something you want to wean off of. For me, it was getting used to the taste of plain water with lemon and Poland Springs water or San Pellegrino, but a bubbly that just excites my mouth. That's all. So steer clear of the artificial things as well as the real sugars. And that's the deal. If you're hooked on a doctor, watch a lot of his videos so you get to know his flavor. Subscribe to him so you'll get it in your feed. If you're interested in one topic, look to your right on the YouTube channel as you're watching, say, Dr. McCullough about a certain topic, and you'll see something from Dr. Davis. You'll see something from Dr. Hyman. You'll see something from Dr. McCullough. You'll see something from Dr. Perlmutter. So the same subject handled by their opinions and their studies. It's wonderful. We are so lucky today to have something like YouTube and Facebook for peer following. And so that's been it for me for the day. Do your research, get comfy. If you're having something that is like generally regarded as safe by the food manufacturers in the United States, are you kidding me? Do your research. Look up those ingredients on the back. The best ingredient label is something that doesn't have an ingredient label, like organic broccoli, organic spinach, grass-fed beef. Look at the additives. You won't see any. If there is a label, all you'll see is grass-fed beef. That's what you want. I was appalled when I was still working at the shelter when I was grocery shopping and I picked up one of those tubes of beef, ground beef, and it said other natural flavorings. That is your USDA at work at disguising all the crap that they've put into this beef. Not to mention that it's like job lot raised, feedlot raised, and is filled with so many horrible GMO things that the cattle ate that you're now going to eat. All disguised. Be aware. Be an informed consumer. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Bye-bye for now. Under 20 with keto, under 20. Whoops, almost forgot that. Bye-bye for now.